The January 1st of Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva promises to return Brazil to the regional and international leadership role it enjoyed during his first 2 terms as president. The international importance of Lula's return to power centers on 3 of his campaign promises that were also pillars of his first 2 terms: to work to mitigate climate change, protect indigenous rights, and to support democracy. The Brazilian Amazon is integral to any hope of slowing global climate change. More than 13% of the rainforest, considered the lungs of the world, has already been lost. An area 5 times the size of New York City was destroyed in the first 6 months of last year, and scientists warn that we may be reaching the tipping point when the forest will return to savanna, irretrievably destroying any hope of stabilizing the world's climate. Closely linked to climate change is the issue of indigenous rights. While less than 1% of Brazil's population is indigenous, preserving their rights and culture requires preserving the rainforest. Brazil has been a regional and international leader in protecting indigenous rights, such as those of the groups that do not want contact with the outside world. In Brazil, they are considered a bellwether for the rights of underrepresented groups, such as the citizens who accompanied Lula on his inaugural walk. Since Lula was last president, Brazil's Amazon neighbors have struggled to preserve democracy in the face of increasing divisions and partisanship. In Bolivia last year, an ex-president was convicted in a 2019 coup. In Peru, 4 presidents have been jailed and 1 committed suicide to avoid facing charges. Ecuador's former president is in exile after being convicted in absentia of Colombia. And this is all without talking about Venezuela. 7.1 million refugees have left Venezuela. U.S. sanctions are punishing the economy there, and the economy shrank 30% in 2020, and it has only marginally recovered in the years since then. Lula will face challenges in trying to keep his campaign promises, but he's facing a faltering economy. He's going to have to deal with the after effects of an ineffective response to COVID. He has an opposition-dominated Congress that will probably try to block any of his initiatives, and he's facing a huge refugee crisis because of those 7 million Venezuelans who are refugees, and many of them have crossed the border into Brazil. But history suggests that he should not be underestimated. The last time he was president, he formed an alliance with India, Russia, China, and South Africa that challenged the world economic order. If he gets his domestic house in order, he may do something equally bold in the coming years. To learn more, follow me on Twitter for news and analysis of Brazil and other Latin American countries. If you're in the Bay Area, consider a spring 2023 class at San Francisco State. IR 322 is a more traditional lecture and activities class, while IR 745 is a seminar for those who learn more through discussion. Thank you.